Hey, hi, hello. Good morning. It is Sunday morning and it is sunny outside. I don't know. It feels like it's been a few months without sun, but I know it's only been a couple days. So I'm really looking forward to my walk today in the sunshine. It's going to be perfect. I have had a really great weekend so far. I am wearing my Jesus Christ Superstar t-shirt, I guess long sleeve shirt. I will show you the back right here. I went to see Jesus Christ Superstar last night with a friend of mine and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I absolutely love the movie and I've never actually seen the stage show, so it was pretty great. We are facing down a brand new week, my last full week of work until the holiday season. I still have to work for about a week and a half, but this is my last full stretch of work, and there is a lot to pack into these next 5 days, but I'm also going to try and get some writing done. Just to back it up for a hot second, I finished my draft of a book a few weeks ago now, and now I'm kind of in between projects and I'm deciding what I'm going to write next, and I have 3 projects in mind. That is currently what I am going to start working on. I got a comment on my previous video asking to show essentially what I write and how I start writing, so I will gladly do that for you in this video. I am honestly just starting with scene 1. I am a little bit lucky because I know exactly where this book is gonna start. I thought that I would just take you along this week as we work and write and try to squeeze in all of the creative activity and really just gear up for the holiday season. I don't know about you, but I really do love this time of year. Not just because it is the holidays, of course the holidays are great, but I really love the feeling this time of year. It truly feels like a Sunday before the biggest week. There's a lot of turning inward for me. There's a lot of letting myself do what I want to do and not put any pressure on myself and not try to create or be productive and just really accept my downtime for what it is. That's going to be a little bit of the theme this week. I want to write and I want to get some stories out, but I'm also just gonna curl up and just really enjoy the coziness of this time of year. I am also reading this week. I'm reading my favorite book, which I read every single year during this time, The Bronze Horseman. I absolutely love this story. If you love romance, this is definitely something that you should put on your list, especially historical romance. It is, well, I've read it every single year for like 6 years, so I've probably read this over 10 times. I have multiple copies of this book. This book is well loved, this version, and I am more than halfway through, and I've been reading it for about 4 days now. So I will probably finish that this week, and then I picked up some wintry reads that I'll probably pick up. I am heading out very shortly to go to my friend Fatuma's place, as I do every Sunday, and sit and write. Wherever you are, I hope you are cozy, and I hope you are ready to spend the week with me doing all sorts of things creative. Let's get into it. Monday, which means the energy is definitely at a Monday level. Whenever I struggle with my Mondays, I always just try to leave something that I'm looking forward to. And tonight, I am looking forward to curling up and continuing to read my book before going to bed incredibly early. Just a little writing update from yesterday. I wrote the first 900 words of my second book, and I'm really, really excited about that. I started at the beginning because that was the part of the story that really was the loudest to me. It was the one that it's the one scene that I kind of knew how it was going to unfold. I certainly didn't finish the scene yesterday, but I definitely got a good head start, and it feels really great. If you are struggling to start your story and you have all the brainstorming down and you have the idea in your head, I would suggest just honestly starting with whatever scene is the loudest to you, whatever jumps out to you as the most exciting part of the story. You can start with an image that you have in your mind and describing it. It really is just about sitting down and getting those words out and knowing that they're not going to be perfect and knowing that you're going to have to rewrite it. Writing really and truly is about the momentum of it. So the 900 words that I wrote yesterday are likely going to change, and they are in no way perfect. I would show you them, but they are very, very raw, and that's okay because it doesn't matter. It's the momentum, it's starting and it's continuing on. So that being said, I have an incredibly busy day and week at work, and I am really dragging my heels, but I'm really looking forward to my lunch hour writing, which I'm definitely going to do today, even if it is only for 30 minutes, and my reading tonight, and just having a week filled with moments of peace. I think that that is the key thing. I am not in a very hustly mood right now. I am in a mood of ease and gentleness. And that is the way that I'm going to go into this week. All right, time to get ready for work. We're in like the darkest part of the year, and it is very taxing on my energy. But I wanted to hop on and do a little bit of an update. I came back a little bit early. I was only able to write for about 30 minutes, truthfully, because I'm pretty busy today at work, but I thought that I would update and say that I finished my first scene. So all in all, I have about 1,800 words into a new book, and I'm really happy about it, but I am a very big plotter, and it is hard for me to continue on with this story without mapping it out and knowing what is going to happen. I think I'm going to really need to map it out this weekend, which I will obviously film and show you how I do that. But basically, I just want to write down all of the scene ideas that I have and kind of lay them out chronologically and then go from there. When I wrote my previous book, I knew the ending. I had it in my mind, so it was pretty easy for me to get to that point. I mean, nothing about writing is easy. I just mean it was easier for me to plot out where the story was going. But now, with this book, I have no idea. I don't have any idea of the ending, and I like that. That's kind of exciting to me, but it does make it a little bit challenging to justify continuing on without having a direction. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to work on it at all this week, but it just means that my working on this book in particular, will probably be me just brainstorming and writing out scene ideas and not active writing. It does feel good to have
the first scene down and have my characters' voices in my head again. I'm going to continue filming for the next couple of days, as per usual. So I'm really curious to see what else I'll get up to. I have some other things that I can work on in the meantime. I have 2 other story ideas that I could potentially start writing, and I also could just brainstorm and things like that. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Onward. Tom and I have had very intense Mondays, so we are gonna go get some ramen, and I'm so excited. But I thought that I would hop on really quickly and do a little reading update. I love this book, and anyone who knows me knows how much I love this book. And I am almost done it, but it is an emotional roller coaster, and I don't know if I want to go into my holidays bawling my eyes out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to actively try to finish it this week. I think I'm going to just let it rest for a little bit until I feel like I'm emotionally strong enough. And it's also just been a really tough day, and I feel like reading something that will make me bawl my eyes out is just not what I'm feeling tonight after ramen. I think I am going to pick up For the Wolf. There's a fable that when 2 daughters are born, one is destined to rule and the other is sent to the wolf into the woods. And this isn't a spoiler, it's on the back, but essentially the wolf is a man. It is a fantastical kind of pseudo retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and it just feels very much like a cozy winter read. And I was greatly inspired to pick this book up because of Emma, or Emmy is the name of her YouTube channel, her review of it. Someone on Goodreads, as well as on the back, also compared it to Beauty and the Beast a little bit. So I am very much into fantastical retellings of Beauty and the Beast. It's pretty much all you have to say to get me to read a book. And it just sounds so cozy and so magical, and a little bit dark, but not too dark that I will hopefully not be emotionally devastated by the end of it. So I think I'm gonna pick this one up tonight and read this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's really important to have things to look forward to at the end of your work days, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something as simple as a piece of chocolate with some tea right before you go to bed. And for me, it's definitely curling up in bed and reading for however long I can stay awake. And it's especially great when I get to start a new book. So I am forgiving myself for not necessarily getting all the way through my reread of my favorite book that I've read probably at least 10 times. Not even probably, I've read it like at least 10 times, so I've basically memorized it at this point. Let's do a dark fantasy, forest, wintry, awesome story, and we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Books really do make the days better. It's Wednesday night, and I just got home from work. And I honestly don't know if it's the fact that it's the week before the kind of holiday season. I still have to work next week, but I don't know if it's the week before the holiday season or if it's the fact that it is so dark outside. But I'm very, very tired. And I did not get any writing done today or yesterday, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Just an update on that. I do think tomorrow I'm going to use my lunch hour to brainstorm some scene ideas. So I will walk you through that when I do it, but I did think it was important to kind of hop on here and just be like, look, sometimes you are far too tired to do all of the things that you want to do, and that is totally fine. And it's human. And as much as I am so tired and just blah, I also was walking home and looking up at the clouds, and the clouds are so beautiful. It's been dreary all day. The sun has not come out once, and that is a bit of a bummer, but the clouds are also this like really pretty gray, fluffy, just like coziest of clouds. And I really am trying to lean in on the beauty of this time of year and the beauty of the slowness and the stillness. And I said at the beginning of this week, I wanted this week to be very much in line with the season, and wow, does it feel like it is. Was not as productive as I wanted to be today or yesterday when it comes to writing, but it's fine because tonight I am going to do a little mood board on my fridge. Every year I do reminders of what is important to me, and really just like beautiful photos that I like to look at whenever I'm near my fridge, which is quite frequent. So I'm gonna do that quickly before I start cooking dinner, which will be a delicious mushroom soup with mashed potatoes, which is just my ultimate comfort food. And then I'm going to curl up and I'm going to keep reading this book, because this book is turning out to be a perfect comfort read for this week. I only honestly am up to chapter 3. I've read a single chapter each day, which is completely fine, but it's also just not my normal reading speed. But I think it's because I've been reading it in the mornings, and again, the mornings have been quite difficult. So I'm gonna curl up after dinner and take a really nice long bath and then curl up in bed and just read, because it is such a cozy read, but there's also very intricate world building that I really do feel like I need to pay attention to, and reading it in the morning has been a little bit difficult, which is why I think I've been taking my time with it. But it's still so good. I just have picked the wrong time of the day to try to get through it. I really love the writing, and I really love the magic and the world building so far. It's you know when you read those books and you're like, ah, that is such a great concept. This is one of those books for sure, and it's so cool, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Just wanted to hop on and just say it's okay that I have not been as productive with writing as I've wanted to, but it's just a week, and that's just the way it is. And if I'm going to show you the days that I'm super productive with writing, I'm also going to show you the days when I'm not. And someone is here to say that it's going to be a cozy evening. And yeah, let's get to a very cozy night, and then a little bit of work tomorrow on my book, because I do want to get the scenes listed out for this weekend when I do a big brainstorm session. Sorry, I don't know what she's doing. She's just saying hey. Okay, cut to me doing my mood board right now. Thursday. What a time. What a week. It's currently lunchtime, and I am going to write out my scene ideas. Oh, this is the book that I need for the new book that I want to write. So I am going to basically just jot down any idea for a scene that I have, anything at all. And then this weekend I will put them on little post-it notes and hang them up on my wall. I do that quite frequently. I've done it in past videos, but I'm gonna just insert a little image here of my post-its on the wall and what they look like. Those are all scene ideas. But first I kind of just want to brainstorm, and I'm going to use my lunch hour to do that. And I will show you kind of the scenes that I come up with. This is really like the brain dumping session. So it's going to be probably out of order. It's going to just be a lot of like random things. It will be the weekend when I put them all together. Than I thought, and I'm so excited to sit down and start writing this book. Just to give you a little bit of insight as to what I did, and maybe this will help you. I don't know if this is the right process, but it's the process that I use. Essentially what I did, and just as a reminder, I am writing this second book, so I already know these characters quite well. I've already kind of set up the legend. I've set up everything, but this is basically how I wrote my first book. I had the overall story in my head. The overall arc of my characters I knew before I started writing. That doesn't mean that things didn't change. Things absolutely changed. Actually, to be honest, pretty much the beginning and the end remained the same, but the middle changed quite frequently. So I suspect that this is going to happen as well with this book. I broke it down to essentially two parts, because there are two storylines that are going to happen in this book, and there are two storylines that we're going to follow in this book. And what I did is I wrote the overall storyline for each of those parts. Bare bones basic sentences like X and X do this, then they do this, then this happens, then they respond this way, and then this is how it comes to a conclusion. So I did that first so that I would have an idea of where I wanted this story to go. And then what I did here was I wrote down like any scene ideas that came to me, and it could be something as simple as character 1 brings food to character 2, or a line that I have in my head that I want one of the characters to say to another character. I have scenes that are more for emotional impact than plot, and then I have scenes that are very much like this is revealed. I do not have it all figured out. This is how much I wrote. I don't have it all figured out at all. There are moments where I'm like, okay, well, this needs to happen, but I don't know how it's going to happen, but it needs to happen. And I do that because when I come back on Saturday and I write these plot points out, I will know where the story is going and I'll be able to fill it out from there. As I said, I suspect things are going to change. I suspect that I will probably have to really do some deep thought on various plot revelations and things that happen. But for the most part, this is a start, and I feel like I have a pretty good idea of the first part of my story, basically the first chunk. So I have enough that I think I'm ready to start writing, which is so cool. I also really want to do this for the 2 other ideas that I have, because I do think that it's important to, for me at least right now, to kind of branch out and write a different story. I really want to write a couple stories in 2022. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try really hard to do that. It is now time for me to get back to work, but first I am going to start uploading this footage from this week, and I will probably start editing this video tonight, so it's going to be a wild Thursday night editing a video. Stay tuned for my next video, which will absolutely follow me plotting out the story and putting up the post-its on my wall and everything like that. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend and or day. And I will see you next time.